Welcome to Loving Life Hitched Up. If you follow our channel, you know I'm Red and that we just sold our tab for 100. Now it's time to look for that perfect RV. So join us as we start our perfect RV search.
Buying an RV and making those choices is not easy. There are a lot of things that you need to put into consideration. We are trying to conquer this. We're going to go through some of the options that we think might work, and we're definitely going to use a little help from you folks commenting down below about what you think's good, bad, or otherwise.
One of the trailers we're considering is the Lance 2075.
Number one reason, it has no slides. And you know, I'm a little nutty about that, and we're not going with slides.
No slides for him. We like the fact that it has a lot of storage. There's even wine storage. That was my favorite.
Yeah, inside and outside storage is amazing with that slide out tray in the front, making it easy to get your stuff in and out. Definitely a cool amount of storage on the exterior.
We like the north-south bed. That's a big thing too. So
Yeah.
I don't have to wreck my back going around fixing the bed.
And not having to climb over each other is definitely, well, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does make it a little easier in the middle of the night if you need to get up and go.
The Lance 2075 has nice windows around the dinette in the back of the trailer, so gives you a lot of light, really bright.
It's a great comfortable area to relax and lounge. It's long enough, at my height, where you can sit back and put your feet up, but putting that table down, it does make it bigger. So very comfortable. It's definitely a plus when you're looking for that space to chill.
And doesn't it have a skylight?
It does. It has a skylight in the front by the bed and a secondary skylight right in the back over the dinette area.
Yeah, and the outside cooking area, there's actually an awning that comes out over the outside cooking area, which is in the rear of the trailer. And guess what? There's a window there. So when he's cooking, I can just hand over the food, whatever he needs.
But keep in mind that outside cooking area is only a storage area unless you opt to have the cooking area as an option where they put in that slide out table, the refrigerator drawer, and the cooking surface. So it is an option that you can add if you want. And there's also a Bluetooth speaker holder right there so you can get some good tunes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we didn't like about it, it's that it's a little bit bigger than what we really feel we need or want.
Coming in at a total of 25 feet is about the biggest length that we would ever really consider.
Right. It's not much, but that's not really in our comfort zone.
One of the things about the outside kitchen that we have to take into consideration is not only is it great, it also, being in the rear of the camper, adds on that you need that length in your spot to be able to use it, because you got to be able to pull it out and move around. So if you're in a really short spot, you might not have the space to use that, as opposed to if it was on the side. So we're going to put this in the could be good, could be bad pile. You know, but the other thing, aesthetically, because you have to love the camper no matter what, we didn't like the wood colors and also some of the staplings that they used to put things together. But the wood color was not our favorite. So we have to balance out the pluses and minuses to know. But this is definitely high up there on our list of strong possibilities. So moving in a complete side direction from being a towable, we looked at some Bs for that flexibility movement around. We looked at the Pleasureway Plateau TS.
And that's really nice. A lot of storage.
Yes.
Amazing what they can do in such a
every little
thing.
nook and cranny. They use great surfaces in there. We love the fact that it had, the surface was nice, shiny, bright, very modern and very sleek looking. And
very bright. Brighter than I thought a B plus like that would be.
And big windows as much as they could put in all the spots. Not a big fan of that big opening door and having to put a net over that while you're in and out. So B's we struggle with a little, but this one was pretty cool. Love the technology functions in that. High-end technology for all your systems, air conditioning and all that stuff. You know, I'm a dude, so, you know, gotta have, you know, things that
hey, we like that stuff too.
Bleep and light up, you know, it is what we like. And I'm not gonna lie, I love the induction cooking and the countertops, so.
Well, one of the concerns about the Pleasureway was the fact that we'd still have a wet bath, and then there is no set bed. And that's one of the things that I don't really like, having to make my bed every day. Yeah,
that's a no-fly for Red for the most part, having to convert your couch into a bed. It was a very comfortable couch to sit on. Don't know about sleeping on it in the long run.
And then we saw the price.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
But I will say, you are getting what you pay for in a lot of things.
True.
But it is pretty high up there on the cost scale for us. So that is something that's got to be worked out as well in the mix.
Shh, just between you and I, don't tell him, but I love the Intec Terra Oasis. That thing is beautiful. You step in there and you don't feel like you're even in an RV. It feels like a little apartment. Nice open space. That dinette is so comfortable with all those windows surrounding you. Oh my God, I could just see myself just lounging, relaxing there, reading a book. Then one of my favorite things is the door that separates the bedroom from the rest of the living area. I don't know, it just feels like you're in a high-end fancy hotel. They have a great sink, like a farmhouse kind of sink, nice and deep. They have outdoor cooking that is at the right height for somebody like me. And I love the fact that the bathroom's on one side and the commode's on the other. So, you know, you don't have to really take turns on what you're doing when you're getting ready. That one really got me.
The Terra Oasis runs really, really high up on my list of campers that I enjoy for lots of reasons.
But it's higher on my list.
She doesn't have a list. Shh, 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 shh. I'm doing this. So it runs really high on my list for lots of reasons. But like everything else, there are reasons why I have to pause on that. Part of it is construction. If you go into the inner workings, yes, beautiful aluminum frame, aluminum cage construction, fiberglass exterior, love all of those things. Do not like the laminated particle board construction in the cabinets, seating areas, and interior parts. Not a big fan of that. Not even finished edges on some of the stuff. Kind of irritates me. Stapled together drawers. Also, when you're buying a rig this size, and for what most people do, modern conveniences of today nowadays, you need some more battery power, you need some more solar. It can come with a solar option, but it's an upcharge. Not that nobody else does upcharges, that's the way it is. But the upcharge, in the end, takes away a huge portion of your storage in your kitchen, right over the stove. I love to cook, I need that space, and space in a small rig is premium. Not too many other negatives on that, but I love the fact that there aren't a million of them out there.
I know that one of the favorite ones for my husband is the Echo. Or is it the Eco?
We don't know. We've even asked our Alexa, and we get different answers each time. So, yeah, Echo, Eco, and that's a Winnebago product. Winnebago's been doing this game for a long, long time. So, some really cool features that I love about the Echo is the massive exterior outside storage.
He's right.
That garage in the back is unbelievable. I could put my bikes inside and never have to worry about them getting rained on.
Good point.
Plus these massive chairs that she makes me bring, these zero gravity chairs that fill up the whole back of an
They're very
F-150.
comfortable. He doesn't complain when he's sitting on them.
Only when I have to break my back to move them. But again, we digress. Outside storage and the ability to turn one of your outside storages into an outside cooking right outside the door to your rig. Totally top notch. I really love that feature about them as well.
Well, if he ever lets me get a dog, they have some reinforced, I don't know, what do you call that?
Mesh, steel mesh on the interior of the doors going out. So if she does get a dog at some point, you don't have to
white English lab is what I want.
No, she wants boxer. She just doesn't remember. You know, she forgets things. But anyway, yeah. So that is really cool. I think that's well thought out for folks. There are a lot of the great technology in there. I love the Truma water heating system in there, the way that it recirculates before it pumps out. So you're not wasting a lot of warm-up water as it goes out. And the fact that the wet bath, although still a wet bath, is unbelievably innovative.
That's true.
With a slide-over wall that covers over your toilet and all that, you know, exposing more of a shower area. I think that's really cool technology. I was pretty impressed seeing that.
Well, one thing that I really did not like from that is the fact that there's no comfortable seating. So the chairs, it's like you're sitting in an airplane. You know, yeah, you can't recline or anything. If you want a comfortable seat, you have the
driving seats. You have to take the driver's seat or the passenger seat, rotate it around, which not a big deal. Pull a lever, spin it.
Yeah, but after you've been driving for hours, do you really want to stay in the same seat?
Sit in the same spot. So it does kind of limit that. The size of it puts it in the category of bigger than what we want because it's kind of like a Class C, but too small on the inside when you balance out. And the one killer for us, that's always going to be a killer for us, is
the twin beds. We don't want twin beds.
Yeah, you can convert.
I like him.
Yeah, you can convert it to a larger bed. with a pillow, but now you're sleeping on a, you know, fragmented bed. And it does inhibit some of the access to the underbed storage areas, which I think are pretty cool. So again, making and unmaking beds and all that, which always seems to be a deal breaker. So like it, still have to think about it. The solar, the onboard generator, all these features keep pushing this one back up to, hey, we could just jet in this thing and go, and no need for an extra vehicle. Really got to put this one through the ringer. Just a while back, we put out a video from the Tampa RV show. I was so totally stoked because I'm like an RV geek. We ran across a Wingham Oasis.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Have only seen one on film before, never alive. We had a chance to actually go inside of this thing, and we're gonna run down why this camper probably fits to the top of my list at this point for the following reasons.
Well, let's see. I think you like the fact that it's very unique.
Yeah, I'm all about the weirdness or the unusualness, which makes each of us unique, which is a selling point in my book.
Yeah, for him it is. Well, it was a really cool, I don't know, what is it, a B?
Yeah, technically it's a B because it is one frame, but I don't know, I kind of feel like it's a B plus.
And it fits in a regular parking spot. So you could basically take it into the city and park it out in the street. So that was pretty
about
interesting.
17 feet long total.
Yeah, and definitely if you want like that get up and go kind of lifestyle, this is the perfect rig or RV for you. Yeah. It's not only is it adorable, but it's really well made, like really sleek, and it looks like high-end quality products.
Yeah, they put in a lot of thought to this process. Some really good materials used on the inside, curved edges, so it gives a real modern kind of feel. Some great technology, although in some regards, pull-down bed from the ceiling was great, but again, you got to climb a ladder to get on and off of that. And you know, maybe as young as we are and fit.
Yeah, for now we could do it, but
in the middle of the
another
night,
year.
I don't know that I want to be climbing up and down a ladder. Just like we don't like climbing over the bed into a Class C. So that's always ones we're never going to see us looking at that. So we kind of have to feel like that bed puts us similar to that.
Right.
I thought it was comfortable. Red didn't care for it.
Well, it was cool. It would be fun, you know, it's kind of adventurous. You pull the bed down, you climb on up, but that's good for a couple of times, or if you're going out for short periods of time. Because if we did go with this with this RV, we still would have a wet bath.
Yes, a nice wet bath, but a wet bath, none the same.
We do like the cassette toilet. That's pretty convenient.
That does help, especially with that on the go kind of movement that you would picture yourself in a rig this size. But again, we're back down to that really small fridge, which is always going to be a problem with the way that we like to eat.
And at the end of the day, it's still a prototype, and there's a long waiting list. So who knows when we would be able to get our hands on that.
Yeah, and it's going to end up on a Dodge chassis here, the ProMaster. So, you know, we got to see what type engines and all that ends up. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to still get one of these for a weekend, check it out, kick the tires.
If we had that kind of money, that would be our spare.
Yeah, that would be your spare on the run. But yeah, definitely something cool. I'm going to keep an eye on this one to see what happens in the future, because there are larger versions still over in Italy.
Are
you
they?
never know.
I didn't know that. See, he is an RV geek. So we also looked at Class A's. And I'll tell you what, those felt so residential. It was like walking into an apartment.
Oh yeah, some of them were absolutely stunning. We went into a Tiffin. It was off the hook luxury, beautiful. It had more couches than people we know. We'd have to just invent friends to come over and sit on all the seats that were there. And we usually sit within touching distance of each other, so having 4 or 5 couches to me is just wasted space.
Yeah, we don't need all that space.
There are smaller A's out there. Smallest one we found was the Vegas.
The Vegas.
Right off the bat, my instantaneous no was it's a gasser. So fuel being what it was and what it is now,
and what it might be in the
future, we were a little concerned that it would be nearly impossible.
It was 25 feet long.
The whole thing, yes. It was a 25-footer, which is about max we want to go. So one of the things about a Class A is when you get someplace, and we always like to tour wherever we go. We're always going a million different spots when we get there. And we would need something behind that. We would need a towed of some sort to get us to all those other things, so you're not dragging your Class A to.
So that means I can get my Mini Cooper convertible.
Yes, in teal, I would imagine it would be in teal. But yeah, that would be something to take into consideration. I don't think A is going to be the way we go at this point in our future, but who knows?
You never know.
You never know. When we started shopping and looking around at RVs, going way back, I kept dragging her over to the Airstreams.
He wanted Airstreams. I'm like, are you kidding me? This costs more than my first house.
But that may be true, but your house doesn't move, and we need a house that moves. So we got to look at things that already have wheels on it to make our life just a little bit easier. I know I'm handy, but I don't know about rigging up something to drag your condo around. So I forced her to look at Airstreams because you have to. They've been around forever.
You know what? They were nice.
Yes.
I stepped in and I thought, wow, look at all the windows. You know, this is
Biggest
really nice.
thing I love about Airstreams, besides the shiny, is the windows. I love all the windows and the ability that a good portion of them open. That's huge.
Yes.
It's great to have windows, but they need to open. So whether your dinette is front
or on the side.
Windows,
Yeah,
right there.
windows.
Definitely a cool thing that we like.
Right. We like the bathrooms. A lot of space in the bathrooms. It seems like, you know, storage.
And dry bath, the ability. There are obviously wet bath versions, but we were looking at dry baths.
Dry bath. No slides, which, you know, he doesn't want to slide.
No slides. So
no
that
slides.
is an amazing thing.
One of my concerns is no storage outside. Absolutely. I feel like there's like this one little box. And
Yeah, depending on your layout, the exterior storage is always going to be limited on Airstream, but I already knew that going into that. So, you know, you got to do workarounds on that kind of stuff. And no outside kitchen.
No outside kitchen. So now you got to drag the Blackstone or whatever you're using.
All that kind of stuff. So you have to balance out the pluses. The pluses of a large network, dealer network, a known product that's been around for a really long time.
There's a long wait for them. So that's the other concern.
Yeah, long wait. And finding a used one is not quite so easy because, you know, the market is, you know, the way the market is now with everything. So I took her over and I wanted her to see what a base camp was because, you know, appeals to me size-wise, the 20.
Looks like an Instapot.
Yeah, looks like an Instapot, which isn't bad because I love to cook. But the 20X was something I wanted to actually get in and move around. Going to be a hard sell because right off the bat it doesn't have a fixed bed. So it would
a wet bath.
And it's a wet bath and a small fridge. But I wanted to see it because it is similar to what the Tab was. Some of the features, but a little bit bigger. Was it going to be enough to go to that next spot? In the end, not enough windows opening up. Still a really great product. Really liked some of the layout. But again, that was kind of dead in the water,
Just not for
unfortunately.
us.
Just not for us.
We took a peek at the Pottery Barn, and that was beautiful, but not exactly the way we want to live or the way we want to camp. They have a white sofa.
Yeah, I can't do white sofas. That won't work for me. So that one's dead in the water. Beautiful inside. If it didn't move and you just kept it outside and lived there, that would be great. But I couldn't see that as an everyday camper kind of deal for us.
Right. But the good thing about Airstream is that there's so many different types of Airstream, so many layouts. It's just, you'll go crazy trying to figure out all the features.
Absolutely. So something we have to consider if that kind of money with the right layout, the right camper.
The right trim level, because you do have some, what's the lowest one?
Bambi.
Bambi.
Some features that I think you would need, like rock guards and all that, you know, road, kick up.
Are not included in the Bambi,
not in the Bambi
series. But then you go all the way up to like what, classic or international?
International, and I would guess Pottery Barn's probably the highest right now for like whatever.
No, the electric one is. Maybe I can get him to get the electric.
Well, all electric, it can drive itself, sort of, in and out of
it can park itself, so that's pretty cool.
Which is kind of cool. But yeah, so we have to continue sorting through to see if there's a specific one that we might like, and if those numbers would mash out in the end for what we think might end up being the deal.
So what did we end up getting? Come back next week so you can find out what we decided to buy.
But at least drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think we're going to end up with. And come back and see.
Next week we'll have the big reveal. And remember, when you're out there loving life,
do it hitched up.